Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most influential movements in human history, the spread of Christianity through Europe. From its humble beginnings to global recognition, Christianity didn't simply rise by chance. Its growth was driven by a powerful combination of war, political influence, personal identity, and the human need for hope in the face of suffering. Christianity began as a small Jewish sect in the first century CE. At first, it struggled for legitimacy and faced persecution. However, determined missionaries helped it take root. Among the most influential were Turkish monks and early Christian leaders who spread the gospel throughout Europe. Their tireless work laid the foundation for a spiritual revolution. Christianity offered something unique: hope, equality before God, and salvation. But what truly launched Christianity into widespread adoption wasn't just peaceful preaching, it was power. When Christianity gained support from the Roman Empire, its influence dramatically increased. At the height of the empire, Christianity became aligned with military conquest. The most extreme example of this was the Crusades, religious wars aimed at reclaiming the Holy Land and spreading the faith, especially Roman Catholicism. These wars were bloody and brutal, resulting in the deaths of over 1.6 million people. They were sanctioned by Pope Urban II, who wielded greater authority than many kings. When he called for holy war, thousands followed, not only out of duty, but also because they believed that dying for Christianity was a direct path to heaven. This spiritual justification for violence gave the church immense influence. At the same time, the Roman Empire's harsh legal system helped shape perceptions of justice. When emperors executed criminals, the people sometimes viewed it as state oppression. But when the church took similar actions, it was seen as divine justice. This double standard gave the church an aura of moral authority. That authority, in turn, attracted more followers, which brought more resources and influence, fueling its continued spread. One of the biggest milestones in Christianity's rise was the conversion of Armenia. Armenia became the first country to adopt Christianity as its official state religion in 301 CE. This gave the religion state backing, structure, and legitimacy. It also signaled that Christianity was no longer a fringe movement, it was a national force. Once this happened, the faith became more flexible. New sects and belief, like Arianism, emerged, showing how Christianity could adapt to different religions and cultures. This adaptability was key to its long-term survival and expansion. Fast forward to more recent history, and we see Christianity continuing to shape world events. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union attempted to suppress religious worship and promoted atheism. Churches were closed and believers were persecuted. But rather than stamp out Christianity, the oppression made the faith stronger. In the aftermath of the Soviet Union's collapse, Christianity resurged in former Soviet republics. Once again, conflict acted as a catalyst for the spread of faith. Beyond politics and war, disease also played a role in Christianity's expansion. During the plague of Cyprian in the 3rd centuries, thousands died daily across the Roman Empire. Traditionally, Roman gods association, often associated with wrath and vengeance, offered little comfort. Christianity, however, preached compassion, eternal life, and peace beyond death. In the face of mass suffering, these messages resonated. Eventually, Emperor Constantine himself converted in 312 CE, following a period of great turmoil. Soon after Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire, this moment changed history. Without that conversion, driven in part by plague and crisis, Christianity may have remained a small regional faith. Even after the Roman Empire collapsed, Christianity continued to grow. In fact, freed from Roman oversight, the church became more autonomous and was able to spread into regions like Northern Europe and British Isles. Missionaries traveled far and wide, and local rulers adopted the faith for political and spiritual reasons. Christianity became deeply rooted in new countries or cultures and helped shape systems of governance, education, and law. It became an institution not only of worship, but of power. Over time, Christianity evolved into more than just a religion. It became an identity. For many people in Europe, being Christian was not only about belief, but also about belonging. National pride and religious identity became intertwined. Countries like Iceland have celebrated over 1,000 years of Christianity, with citizens and political leaders participating in public religious ceremonies. In fact, a recent survey showed that about 63% of Europeans associate their religious belief directly with their personal identity. Whether practicing devoutly or casually, people saw Christianity as part of who they were. Christianity's impact on European culture is immeasurable. From art and music to law and language, Christianity ideals have helped shape the Western world's foundational values. The construction of cathedrals, the rise of universities, and even the creation of the printing press were all deeply tied to Christian institutions. The Bible became one of the most widely printed and translated book in human history, and it influenced everything from literature, oops, sorry, from literature to moral philosophy. Even today, holidays such as Christmas and Easter remain central cultural events, regardless of individual belief. Outside Europe, Christianity became a global force through colonization, trade, and modern missionary work. While this expansion brought education and humanitarian aid to some areas, it also led to cultural erasure and conflict. The spread of Christianity outside Europe is a complex legacy, one that involves both goodwill and domination. In places like Africa, Latin America, and parts of Asia, Christianity grew rapidly in the 19th and 20th centuries. Today, many of the world's most devout Christian populations live outside of Europe, continuing the story of a faith that has evolved far beyond its origins. Today, Christianity remains the second largest religion in the world after Islam. Its presence in Europe is a direct result of a combination of missionary work, political alignment, war, adaptation, and the persistent human desire for meaning, hope, and community. From the Crusades to Cold War resilience, from plagues to political conversion, Christianity spread through Europe was not a straight line, but it was remarkably effective. Whether spread through the sword or through the sermon, Christianity left an undeniable mark on European civilization. Its legacy can still be seen in Europe's architecture, laws, holidays, literature, and cultural values. Its influence extends far beyond Europe, shaping the world in countless ways. Thank you.